Hi, so here we have an Atari 800XL which has come all the way from Norway and apparently it doesn't work. So let's plug it in and see what the problem seems to be. And we turn it on and we get nothing at all on the screen. Not a red screen, just nothing at all. So let's plug in our SysCheck board, our trusty SysCheck board, which we should probably be paying royalties to Jürgen for this thing because it's more or less in constant use. Turn it on and see if we get anything. Now what this is telling us, if we zoom in on this, this has not been modified for colour yet, so maybe this one's hot from eBay. Let's have a look. What this is telling us is that every RAM chip apart from U10, on the assumption that this is a non-Freddy 800XL, every RAM chip apart from U10 is dead. So let's take her apart and have a look. Don't turn it on, take it apart. Ooh, as Dave Jones would say. Well, we've got to take it apart because it doesn't work. But anyway. Let's lose this. Right. There we go. It'd be nice to get this one done tonight. And then I can do other things over the weekend. Wouldn't that be nice? Instead of the usual Saturday night soldering till 10 o'clock in the evening. Oh, good. What was that? Well, we've got a ground wire here. It's a bit of a booby trap. What sort of ground wire have we got? Oh, we've got a ground. This is quite unusual. Ground wire tethered to the shield here. Okay. Is it an Alps keyboard? It is an Alps keyboard. Nicest keyboard of all. Put you down there. Right, get this out of the case. There's a couple of screws hold it to the plastic. That one. That one. No screw here on this one. This is a revision D. No sockets under the RAM. Holy crap. That's not good. Because if it was a delay line problem again, we wouldn't report all of the RAM as bad. We'll do one more quick look. Oh, now it says all the RAM's bad. That's interesting. That's quite interesting. Now it claims all the RAM's bad. So could we be on for another delay line problem? Ah! Aha ha ha! This is interesting. Kind of random results every time. Now it says a pretty catastrophic RAM error because the menu is screwed up. I'm not sure this is RAM. Okay, we'll try. We'll play with the idea that this is another delay line problem. I'll do what I can in about 20 minutes and then we'll have a rest. Do the boring stuff off air and come back with a report. I'm removing solder using the desoldering pump, by the way, if you wonder what I'm doing off desk. This cheap, crappy desoldering pump works really well, worryingly good. I couldn't be lucky enough to have the same problem 2 times running. But I don't think all the RAM's bad on this board. That just seems incredibly unlikely. Especially when the RAM tester sort of flip-flops between claiming that it's bad and then saying that it's okay. Keep this to one side, it may be perfectly fine. To me, this whole procedure of troubleshooting is like kind of a join the dots thing, because it's not basically just following a script more or less of what's potentially going to be the problem. Preferably the easiest thing first. And replacing all the RAM isn't really a big deal, or socketing all the RAM, but so I try to avoid it if I can. This board has the bigger chip socketed already, so it helps a little bit, but it's fairly obvious that everything works. Video works, GTI works. Okay, look for another delay line, see what we get. Plug this in and see what happens. Alright, we're back to square one again, so it ain't that. So let's try a different antic chip if we can find one. Antic's fine. God, these rotten old sockets. Object fine. CPU, just in case, just for the hell of it. Dead CPU, oh, and a good choice. Different result. Okay, so I'm pretty much at the point where we're going to start replacing this stuff now. So with this machine so far we have looked at the delay line. Fancied that it would be nice if I had the same problem on two machines in a row. That's proved not to be the problem. We've checked the relevant chips that are already in sockets. So the next thing I'll probably try is the 74 LS158s. I will socket those, try and replace them, and then if all else fails we'll put sockets under all the RAM, and then if that doesn't fix it then things get really interesting. Alright, so this is the Norwegian 800XL, and this is the one where Syscheck was claiming that all the RAM was bad on the board on Friday night, and I think in that video I got as far as replacing the delay line chip and then stopped work on this board because I figured it was probably going to be necessary to replace all the RAM. What I actually did after the end of the stream, which unfortunately isn't on video, is I replaced the 74LS158s. Didn't have any effect. I took all the RAM off the board. I'd probably, given my time again, I think I would have done things differently, but never mind, I took all the RAM off the board. It didn't take all that long anyway. Put some sockets on it when I got in today, and I didn't stream it because I've got to go out unexpectedly, so I didn't think I'd have time to make a video tonight, but I've decided to record this and edit it later on. So I replaced the RAM with some good RAM, and it still claimed that all the RAM was bad on the board. So then I thought, okay, we'll try the MMU, replace the MMU and 74LS138, and it still didn't make any difference. So in exasperation I did what I should have probably done anyway, but normally when I do this, when I take the shortcut, it normally ends up being the RAM. This time I didn't take the shortcut and I did things kind of the right way, and it turned out that it was the OS ROM here was apparently shorting out the entire address bus and causing Syscheck to think that all the RAM was bad. I kind of verified this by fiddling with the dip switches on Syscheck, and it wouldn't boot with the OS on the machine. So again, if I'd thought a little bit more carefully about what I was doing, I could have probably eliminated the operating system ROM earlier from inquiry, so I learned a good lesson there. But anyway, I'll show you what the outcome is here when I just took the OS RAM off the board. And then we get the memory test, and it's gonna finish okay. I haven't tested the RAM. I'm not absolutely sure there isn't bad RAM as well. I need to go through and test that properly, because this is a complete set of new RAM that I've got on the board, which seemed like a good idea to try and eliminate RAM from the equation. But yes, a good lesson there. I should have tried to boot with the RAM on the motherboard and I should have tried to boot using the ROM on the motherboard. Yes, I should have tried to boot with the ROM on the motherboard. That would have been a good idea. Yes. Never mind. Lesson learned. This tool is even more versatile and useful than you might think, because if used correctly, not by idiots like me, you can find the problem a lot more quickly. So there we are, no problem found. Memory's all good. So it was the OS ROM. What happened to the OS ROM, we may never know. So I'm going to put a socket under this, and hopefully we'll be good. Let's roughly get all this off, and then we'll go over this with wick. Blocked up again. Tiny wick, I'm getting impatient now. Well, that's pretty good. Let's get a bit of a clean up on the back. Nice clean. There we go. One pretty nice looking set of wires. Let's get a socket. One, isn't it? Oh, yeah. I'm going to inspect this first with my glasses on, just to make sure it is as good as it seems to be. Yep, good. Okay, that looks fine. I'm going to tack this down in the two corners, and then I can push down on it from the top to make sure that it's nice and flat. Check it from the top. Looks good to me. So yes, top tip for using syscheck: if all the RAM on the motherboard appears to be bad, or is reported bad, before you go taking off all the RAM, configure syscheck so that it boots from the OS ROM on the motherboard rather than the OS ROM on the syscheck, but with the RAM on the syscheck. And this will tell you whether or not the OS ROM works. So let's pinch an OS ROM off this machine here, and all being well, this should now work. Come on, boot. Come on. Come on, let's go. Yes! You beauty. There we go. So it was the OS ROM. All of this, and it was the OS ROM all along. Alright. Let's test some of this RAM, see if it works. Let's test the RAM we took off the board and see if any of it was bad. Okay, we'll put everything back. If this boots with the original RAM, tears may flow. Let's put it that way. Please be bad. Please be bad, RAM. Come on. Come on now. I look less of an idiot. Aha! Good. Some of the RAM's bad. Excellent. The top two aren't the original RAM. I borrowed it and I stuck it in another machine. I don't know where it is. But it does look as if at least some of this RAM is bad. Is it going to tell us which? Have a look. Half of the original RAM's bad. Well, that's kind of a relief. I need to give this machine new RAM across the board. It's all bad. But it's good RAM, and if it goes bad again, the user can swap it out pretty easily. So, on balance, I think it wasn't such a bad thing that we ended up socketing the RAM on this board. It's not a bad thing at all. But it works with new RAM and a new operating system ROM, and with that I will call this a fix.